Hello! Greetings mga ka-spacers natin out there from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And sa lahat ng ating mga ka-spacers na nakatutok ngayon worldwide and netwide, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. This is your ka-spacer and space commander, Prof Jun Cajigal, welcoming you to another online telescope viewing. And just like yesterday mga ka-spacers, my telescope is pointing at our sun. Today is April 22, 2022, and mga ka-spacers, today we celebrate Earth Day. Ayan po, so very special itong araw ngayon, April 22. Today is Earth Day. And kung makikita nyo sa ating solar image mga ka-spacers, nandyan na naman po yung mga large group of sunspots na yan na nakakamangha talaga. Alright? So join me in the next 20 minutes as we observe the sun through the lenses of my telescope. And again mga ka-spacers, ito po yung telescope na ginamit ko for our solar imaging today. So this is a Vixen Custom 80mm refracting telescope. And kung mapapansin po ninyo sa harapan ng objective lens niya ay may solar filter. So that is a Baader solar filter so that I can observe the sun safely. And again po mga ka-spacers, no, babalado, talagang nakakamangha talaga itong mga sunspots na to. Please do not observe the sun directly. Alright? So ang ginagamit ko po is a solar filter, no? So talagang protektado po ang aking mga mata as I study the sun. And again po, babala po, ulitin ko po, do not observe the sun directly. Alright. So ano nga itong mga nakita natin na sunspots, no? These sunspots are actually areas on the sun's surface that are relatively cooler and they appear dark in its surrounding photosphere. Yung photosphere po mga ka-spacers, so that is the visible surface of the sun. Ito nakikita nyo po ngayon na bolang bilog, no, na puti, na that's the photosphere. Alright, and the photosphere has a temperature of about 5,800 degrees Kelvin. So talagang mainit, no? And sunspots have temperatures of about 3,800 degrees. So medyo mababa yung temperature niya, no, as compared to the surrounding photosphere. Alright, so ang tanong, bakit ganon, no? So these sunspots, they are relatively cooler and they appear darker because they form at areas where magnetic fields are particularly strong. And these magnetic fields mga ka-spacers, they are so strong that they keep some of the heat within the sun from reaching the surface. So with this mga ka-spacers, no, we can see that the sunspots, they are magnetic storms. So they are magnetic disturbances in the photosphere. And ito po mga ka-spacers, itong mga sunspots na nakikita nyo po ngayon, mas malaki pa yan po sa mundo natin. Now, these sunspots, they are roughly the size of the Earth or 20 to 40 times larger than our planet. So nakakamangha po talaga, no, mga ka-spacers. And right now, ito po yung aking binabasa sa based dun sa pinost ng Pag-asa. We are now actually entering the solar max or solar maximum. Alright, so we expect increase in solar activities like solar flares and increased number of sunspots. Alright, so here is now the magnified image of the sun with those sunspots. Ayan o, diba nakakamangha po mga ka-spacers. And napakalinaw po ng ating camera and kitang-kita po yung central darker region. So that central dark region is known as the umbra and kitang-kita po yung lighter outer section called the penumbra. And again po mga ka-spacers, these sunspots are caused by disturbances in the sun's magnetic field welling up in the photosphere. So ayan, so in other words, mga magnetic storms yan, no, mga ka-spacers. Ayan, no? So kitang-kita talaga yung umbra, yung darker central region, and we have the lighter outer section called the penumbra. Alright, and kagaya po ng nabanggit ko kahapon, kasi inobserbahan ko din po yung araw kahapon, no, habang tinitignan ko po itong mga sunspots na to, they remind me of leukocytes, no, or white blood cells. So yung umbra parang nuclei yun ng leukocytes. Alright, no, speaking of being a biology major, pero yan po yung it reminds me of leukocytes. Alright, and again, these are magnetic storms, no, mga ka-spacers. Ayan, no? Di ba kayo namamangha? Are you not fascinated by what you are seeing right now, no? So if you're fascinated, if you are amazed of what you are seeing right now, please comment down below. And I would like to hear from you, mga ka-spacers, kung ano ang inyong reaction or inyong inputs, or if you want to say anything about our online telescope viewing today, please let us know. Just type in your comments or your reactions in our comment section below. Ayan po, no? So, ayun, galing. Wala po akong masabi. We are now entering the so-called solar maximum. So, this is where there will be an expected increase in solar activity. Okay, like for example, frequent solar flares and increase in the number of sunspots. Alright, so ito po, I am scanning the photosphere. Ginagalaw ko yung telescope kasi meron ding maliit yan. Nakikita niyo po yung dalawang maliit na yan na bandang gitna. Alright, so kasi nakakonsentrate yung mga malalaking sunspots dito sa isang section ng sun. Pero sa gitna may dalawang maliit po. Ayan, puti na ispatan natin yan. Alright, and expect siguro in the next couple of days baka lumaki yan. Ayan, so yung dalawang maliit na sunspots na nasa gitna. Alright, and yung mga malalaking sunspots na sa isang gilid, no, ng ating araw. Alright, so ayan po, no. So again, these sunspots are magnetic storms po yan, no. And again, they are cooler and they appear darker as compared to the surrounding photosphere. Alright, again, they are cooler, medyo mababa lang yung temperature ng mga sunspots na yan. It is because they form at areas where magnetic fields are particularly strong. And itong mga magnetic fields na ito, they are so strong, napakalakas ng mga magnetic fields na yan, that they keep some of the heat within the sun from reaching the surface. Alright, so ayan, ito na naman yung itong grupo na ito ng malalaking sunspots. And itong mga sunspots na to, again, they are even larger than the Earth. No, they are roughly the size of the Earth or about 20 to 40 times larger than the Earth. So talagang nakakamangha talaga. Kaya pag may mga sunspots, talagang hindi po ko nag-aatubilit, talagang gusto kong obserbahan yung araw. And ito po yung telescope again na ginamit ko, no. This is a Vixen 80mm refracting telescope na it is equipped with a Bahadur solar filter. Alright, so ayan po again yung mga malalaking sunspots na yan, at mas malaki pa yan po sa mundo natin. So you can imagine that, no? Parang napakalaking bagyo, pero these are magnetic, no? Magnetic storms. Alright, in the sun's photosphere. Alright, mga ka-spacers, so again, if you are amazed, if you are fascinated by what you are seeing right now, kagaya ko, no? Please, I would like to hear from you. Type in your reactions or your comments in our comment section below. And again, nakita niyo yung dark central region called the umbra. Ayan yung dark central region niya. And the lighter outer section called the penumbra. Alright, and again po mga ka-spacers, no, talagang nakakapangha tong mga sunspots na to. But again, babala ko lang po, never observe the sun directly. Alright, so ang mga sunspots na to actually was first observed by Galileo. Kaya lang si Galileo kasi walang Bahadur solar filter yung telescope niya. But he saw sunspots pero walang filter yung telescope niya, and eventually nasira po yung mata niya, no? Naging partially blind si Galileo. So again, babala po mga ka-spacers na do not look at the sun directly at baka mag-Galileo po kayo. Alright? So there are many methods of observing the sun, like yung projection method. So siguro in our next video, no, I'll be doing a teaching video about observing the sun. So antabayanan nyo po yan sa Facebook page ng Bedan Society of Young Astronomers and yung Skywatcher Society of Las Piñas. Alright, so that's our magnified image of our sun, April 22, 2022. And by the way mga ka-spacers, I took this image of the sun kanina po mga 1:30 ng hapon. Kasi kahapon I think I was able to take photos of the sun ng umaga, mga 10. Eto ngayon hapon. Alright. Ayan, kasi naging busy rin po ako nung umaga. May klase po ako. Ayan, so hapon ko lang na I got that opportunity to observe the sun. Alright po mga ka-spacers. So there you have it. No? Ito yung ating magnified image ng araw. Now if you missed that, pag na-miss ninyo, may magnify ulit natin in a few minutes. Alright. So siguro ang malaking tanong ngayon mga ka-spacers. So alam na natin no, ano yung mga sunspots na yan. And did you know mga ka-spacers na yung mga sunspots na yan can form over periods lasting from days to weeks. Ito ilang araw ko na rin inoobserbahan to mga sunspots na to. I think buong linggo kong inoobserbahan yan. No? So sunspots form over periods lasting from days to weeks and can persist weeks or even months no before dissipating. Alright, so ayan po. So medyo matatagalan pa ho no, and we are entering the so-called solar maximum. So we will be expecting more of these sunspots. Alright? So yan, antabayanan natin yan mga ka-spacers. So siguro ang malaking tanong bago natin i-magnify ulit po yung image ng ating araw, ano po yung epekto nito sa mundo natin? Alright, now sunspots again are caused by disturbances in the sun's magnetic field welling up to the photosphere. No, ito yung visible surface ng ating araw. Ito nakikita nyo po ngayon. The powerful magnetic fields in the vicinity of sunspots produce active regions on the sun, which in turn frequently spawn disturbances like solar flares and coronal mass ejections. Now, baka tanungin po ninyo mga ka-spacers, ano yung coronal mass ejections or CMEs? Now, coronal mass ejections, mga ka-spacers, they are powerful eruptions near the surface of the sun. Parang solar flares. Alright? And these eruptions, they are driven by kinks in the solar magnetic field. Ayan po, no? And the resulting shocks ripple through the solar system. Yan, and they can reach our planet. No? And pag dumating po yung mga coronal mass ejections na yan and yung mga solar flares na yan sa mundo natin, they can interrupt satellites and power grids here on Earth. Alright? Yan po. So, yan po yung epekto niyan sa mundo natin. Alright? So, again, these sunspots are active now. We are entering the so-called solar maximum. So, we will expect more solar flares and probably coronal mass ejections. So, this will result in an increase in geomagnetic storm activity for the Earth. Alright? So, ngayon, papunta ho tayo sa solar max. We will see an increase in the northern and southern lights, yung mga auroras. And again, like yung sinabi ko po kanina, possible disruption in radio transmissions and power grids. And even these coronal mass ejections can interrupt satellites. Ayan po. So yun ang epekto po ng increased sunspot activity sa mundo natin. Alright po mga ka-spacers, no? So isn't that fascinating indeed? And again, dun sa mga nakamiss dun sa magnified image ng araw, we will magnify the image of the sun any moment now po. Alright, so habang inihintay po natin yung magnified, ayan na po. I spoke too soon. Ayan po. So that's our magnified image of the sun. And ayan na po yung mga sunspots. Alright, so you can see the dark central region called the umbra. And again, yung lighter outer section called the penumbra. Ayan, so talagang, and yung mga sunspots na to mga ka-spacers, they are larger than the Earth. Right? These sunspots are roughly about the size of the Earth or about 20 to 40 times larger than the Earth. And again po, ulitin ko po lagi no, na we are entering the so-called solar maximum. Alright? And this will persist I think hanggang July pa. No? And in the solar maximum or solar max, there will be an increase in solar activity. No? And dumadami yung mga sunspots and we can observe frequent solar flares and possibly coronal mass ejections. Alright, so ayan po no. Ako'y namamangha talaga sa mga sunspots na to. Ayan. Unlike yung mga nakarang taon no, halos walang solar activity, walang sunspots. Pero talagang ako'y natutuwa no at tong solar maximum we can observe a lot of sunspots. Kagaya po ng sinabi ni Sir Norman Marigsa sa kanyang post, the sun is putting up a good show. Ayan po, parang nagpapasikat po yung araw no? Kasi no, parami ng parami at lumalaki po yung mga sunspots na naobserbahan ng lahat ng mga astronomy enthusiasts. Alright, shout out kay Mr. Norman Marigsa who is also the coordinator of yung Astronomers Without Borders dito po sa Pilipinas. And again, we are still celebrating Global Astronomy Month. Ayan po. Day 22 po ngayon ng Global Astronomy Month and also nagkataon April 22. Today also we celebrate Earth Day. No, we celebrate Earth Day. Alright. So I am scanning the photosphere of the sun kasi hindi lang naman po yun yung mga sunspots. Meron po pa sa gitna. Dalawang maliit na nasa gitna po. And yun. Okay, so nakita niyo po yun ng mga ka-spacers na itong dalawang maliliit na sunspots. Nasa bandang gitna po yan. Alright, kasi nakikita natin yung mga malalaking sunspots dito sa isang section ng araw. Pero meron pong yan, yung dalawang yan, nasa gitna po yan. Alright, so check out my sun photos sa Facebook page po ng Vedan Society of Young Astronomers and nag-post din po ako ng mga sun photos ko ngayong April 22 sa Facebook page ng Sky Watchers Society of Las Piñas. Ayan po, yan po yung dalawang maliliit na sunspots na nasa gitna po ng araw. Alright? Okay, so again po mga ka-spacers, no, I would like to hear from you kung ano po yung inyong mga reactions or comments about what you are seeing right now sa ating online telescope viewing of the sun. Alright, so ayan po na yung dalawang maliit na yan na nasa gitna. And binabalik ko po yung image natin dun sa yan yung grupo ng mga malalaking sunspots na yan. Alright, medyo shaky lang po yung aking tripod. Alright. And again, I took this image of our sun kanina po mga 1:30 po ng hapon, April 22. Alright, so ayan po, di ba ako kayo namamangha? Are you not fascinated? Ako nga po talagang habang inoobserbahan ko to wala akong masabi talaga. At talagang very fascinating itong mga sunspots na ito. Lalo na itong mga malalaki na ito. Ayan, no? So yung outer lighter region, yung penumbra, and yung darker central region called the umbra. Alright, so again, these sunspots are magnetic disturbances in the sun's photosphere. Alright. Okay, so ayan po mga ka-spacers, no? Those are the sunspots. Sunspots again are caused by disturbances in the sun's magnetic field welling up in the photosphere of the sun. And these sunspots, no, they appear dark, kaya parang spot yan because they are cooler than the surrounding photosphere. Alright, they are cooler, they have a lower temperature as compared to the photosphere. It is because they form at areas where the magnetic fields are particularly strong. And these magnetic fields are so strong that they keep some of the heat within the sun from reaching the surface. Ang photosphere po, ang temperature niyan ay siguro mga 5,000 o 5,800 degrees Kelvin. Ang mga sunspots, lower po yung temperature niyan, about 3,800 degrees Kelvin. That's why they look darker than the surrounding photosphere. Alright? Okay, so ayan po, sana marami po kayong natutunan sa aking binabahagi. Ayan po about the sunspots and about the sun. Alright. And baka isipin nyo, baka ito lang po yung sun na may mga spots. No, our sun isn't the only star with spots. No, in recent years, astronomers have been able to detect star spots, okay, or sunspots on other stars. Ayan po. And siguro bago po tayo magtapos sa ating online telescope viewing, again, ano po yung epekto ng mga sunspots sa mundo natin, no? So, if sunspots are active, meaning dumadami po yung number of sunspots observed, so we can expect more solar flares and coronal mass ejections. Coronal mass ejections, they are powerful eruptions near the surface of the sun. And they are driven by kinks in the solar magnetic field. The resulting shock ripple through the solar system, no? And they can interrupt satellites and power grids. And etong dumadaming number of sunspots, kasi we are entering the so-called solar max, we will see an increase in the northern and southern lights. So yung mga auroras. Alright, northern and southern lights. So napakagandang, kung kayo taga Canada, no, magandang tignan yan yung mga northern lights. Okay, kung kayo nasa south, like New Zealand or Australia, and yung mga southern lights naman. Okay, and this increasing number of sunspots may also disrupt radio transmission and power grids and satellite communication. Alright, so yun po yung epekto ng mga sunspots na yan sa mundo natin. Alright, pero walang dapat ikabahala, no? Hindi pa ho magtatapos ang mundo. Alright, kasi may mga nakita akong mga comments doon sa pinost ng Pag-asa. Magtatapos na daw yung mundo, no? Huwag po kayong maniwala doon. Alright, so ayan po, that's our online telescope viewing for today, April 22, 2022. And again, we celebrate Earth Day. Alright, and again po, gusto ko pong i-promote bago po tayo magtapos yung mga remaining activities ng Vedan Society of Young Astronomers in the continuing celebration of Global Astronomy Month. So, Friday po ngayon. So, bukas, we will be airing our third episode of Cosmo Quest featuring Mr. Anthony Urbano. So, he is a science education specialist at the UP NISMED. Ayan, so maganda po yung kwento niya. So antabayanan niyo po yan bukas. Saturday, we will be live streaming that on our Facebook page at around 8 o'clock in the evening. Alright, and on April 27 next week po yan, sa Wednesday, we will be having a webinar about the Artemis project. Man is going back to the moon. So please visit our Facebook page for details and yung registration link po para makaregister po kayo. And again po mga ka-spacers, that webinar is free. Walang bayad po yan. Okay, so I invite everybody to join us. No, and let's listen to Mr. Rodion Herrera. Siya po yung aming special guest dun sa webinar na yan. Alright po. So I guess that's about it for today for our online telescope viewing. And again po mga ka-spacers, like and share. Okay, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Science Guy, Professor Jun Cajigal. Like and share po yung ating Facebook page, The Sky Watchers Society of Las Piñas, and yung Bedan Society of Young Astronomers Facebook page. So ayan po yung ating batas po ha. Please like and share para makarating po ito sa maraming tao, lalong-lalo na po yung mga estudyante, para ma-inspire natin sila to love the sciences. Alright, this is your ka-spacer and Space Commander Professor Jun Cajigal saying live long and prosper. Alright, please watch my next video, no, para mas ma-engage tayo sa siyensya. So hanggang dito na lang po muna tayo. Bye-bye and see you in our next online telescope viewing. Like and subscribe po. Bye-bye!